Matt here from Westralian Offroad. We are down here in Nannup, camping in a nice little spot. We've got water just over there. It is 10 out of 10. Anyway, that's not why we're here. That's going to be in another episode that you'll see at some point. Today, we're here to talk about this big old thing. So I've had a few people ask me what I've done with this, specifically in the back, tyres, things like that. So I thought I'd just make a little video about it. It's nothing special. It's a typical old patrol. It's loud and slow, but it's cool. It's capable, and I love it to bits. So straight off the bat, I need to settle a score. People ask, is it a TD? Is it turbo TD? Is it a 5 litre even? I've had that. The answer is negative to all of them. It's a TB42E, so it's the EFI petrol. When I bought this car, or when I was initially looking for another 4-wheel drive, it had been a while between having 4-wheel drives, and when it came to wanting to get another 4-wheel drive, I wasn't concerned with diesel or petrol. Maybe I should have been. In hindsight, who knows, maybe I should have. Either way, this car had things that I was looking for, which was accessories that I didn't have to waste money on. It was just, I could get the car, I could throw the fridge in it, and I could just get us out bush, which was just everything that I was wanting to get another 4-wheel drive for. And petrol or diesel it didn't bother me one bit. I was not in the slightest concern. I just knew that I didn't want a Carby or an RB30 with the 3 litre. I knew I didn't want that. So the TB42E, it didn't scare me. On the motor side of things, if I thought the engine was in poor condition and it was going to murder itself, based on my sound reasoning, I wouldn't have bought the car, simple as that. But based on my judgment, I thought it seemed solid. You're running the gauntlet with any second-hand car you're buying, so it is what it is. And so getting back to the point of what I wanted the car to have specifically, so that me and Kelly can just get back out into the bush, it was things like a bull bar, the lights. It had a UHF. It's also got a outback roof console. It's got a rack with a bar on it. It had an awning. It had drawers. It's got the 35s. It's got the offset radius arms for the 35s. It's got diff gears for the 35s. So as a whole, on that front, it had everything that I was looking for. If the motor did decide to grenade itself, that's something I can handle at some point. It hasn't happened. I've had this vehicle for some time now, and the motor is just as tough as it ever has been. But I knew that right off the bat, I wanted a vehicle that was just going to get us out into the bush and get us going again. And this was the perfect start. And it was the perfect platform for me to be able to just keep adding to the point where maybe a TD conversion or something like that would have been the very last thing on the list, and then it's the ultimate vehicle. Who knows? But anyway, I've also done a long range fuel tank in it as well, so that helps with distance. I can get about 700-800 k's now out of a full tank full. For 4-wheel driving, especially the sort of 4-wheel driving we do, that's more than enough. At some point, will I get a diesel? Probably. Do I want a new vehicle at some point? Yes, I do. Will it be a diesel? I would say more than likely. Will it be a TD? Probably, because I like my patrols and I will want another patrol. So those questions are obvious answers to. Having said that, at this point in time, it is more than capable. It goes everywhere that everyone else's cars does, plus some. And I cannot stress this enough. It is getting me and Kelly out into the bush, which is what everyone should just be focused on. I get a little disheartened when people sort of react with this somber look of disgust when I say that it's a petrol. Yeah, they have their limitations, don't get me wrong, but they're not all bad. And if you're the kind of person that is just trying to get into 4-wheel driving, you have a budget, your ultimate vehicle, which would be diesel ideally, is just out of reach, do not let a petrol vehicle put you off from just getting out into the bush and being able to see this incredible country that we are blessed to live in? If I can indulge myself on anything, it would just be that point. Grab any car, a Ford Falcon wagon, it doesn't matter. Just throw in a swagger, a tent, grab yourself an esky with some ice, and just get out there and see this place. Whether it's petrol or diesel or avgas, it doesn't matter. There's so many places you can get to with any kind of car. So that's all I've got to say about that. Let's check out the rest, eh? So we'll start at the front. This is an old steel bull bar that was on the car when I bought it. It's old, it's bent, it's quite rusty. It probably weighs a shit ton. But I don't really care. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't need to change it. I think it might be an Iron Man. Honestly, I have no idea. The only reason I'm saying Iron Man is because it's got this little bit here that looks like it may have had an Iron Man logo stuck in there. So yeah, whatever. These are on it when I bought the car. They're just the illuminators from King's, I guess, Super Centre. They are pretty decent. We don't do a lot of night travel, and if we did, especially remote stuff where it's really dark, would I have these? Of course not. Are they good for what we do? Hell yes they are. Do I need to change them? Not one bit. So there's them. I've got also what I presume is a Super Centre light bar up on the roof rack. Same thing. It's set back far enough to not light up the bonnet too much. It has its place. It's good. Light bar on its own, pointless. With the spotties down low, perfect. It's awesome. So that's that. And of course I got the Dominator X, the winch. This is the new one too, the brand new one they've got out. Haven't used it yet. Haven't needed to. But it's there ready to go. If it shits itself, well then that's my bad for buying a cheap winch, isn't it? My aerials, this is actually a spare. It has been the case where I have snapped or had a broken aerial and I've just had no way of communication, so this is just a spare. This is my unit of heavy duty. These things are sick. I love this. I got it for a pretty good price too on a Western Offroading Mates open night at Coburn Autobahn, I think it was. So that was good. I got a solid deal on that. And then this is for my radio. This is just for good reception. When we're out in towns and places, I like to put the local radio on and just listen to local radio. Might just find that cool. So this is just for that, just better signal for that. So that's them. So the boots, the big tyres, they are the Goodyear Wrangler Kevlar mud terrains, 315/75 on a 16-inch rim, negative 22 offset, and they're sick. These tyres are sick. I froth these. They are so good. Not at all what I was looking for when I wanted new tyres. I came across them, did some research, loved them, ran them on the car, loved them. They're quiet, they bag out really well, they're super grippy, they're good in the sand on the beach. They're just sick. I can't recommend these enough. 18 PSI all day long for everything. Beach, sand, mud, rock, whole lot. And they just bag out so well. So these tyres are sick. I love these. And suspension is I have no idea what the springs are, but it's a 4-inch lift, and I've put Tough Dog adjustables in. I think they're a 6-inch spring, 6-inch shock, sorry. And it's got the offset radius arms that I'd mentioned before as well for the lift. Obviously it's had the extended brake lines, and I've got the 4.9 diff gears, I think. I could be wrong. Whatever they are though, they are really good with the gearing. It is pretty slow. especially fully loaded. It struggles to pull the foreskin off a Jeep, let's be honest, but with the diff gears it definitely helps. So that's boots and suspension and diffs. Oh man, need a drink. My throat's drier than a nun's nasty. Sorry, the interior. Not a whole lot going on in here. I've got the HEMA HX1 for navigation. A lot of guys use their phone. I think a lot of people don't want to outlay the big bucks for separate navigation, but me personally, I can't stand the idea of using my phone, because sometimes there's other things you want to do with your phone, like, I don't know, music or photos, and if you're relying on your maps as well, or you try and do all this other stuff with your phone, that just, yeah. Anyway, so I like HEMA, and I've got I always have paper maps as well in conjunction with the HEMA. It's good for logging trips, and you just double checking your references and stuff like that. So that's that. I've also got the Grab Me Gear dash organizer. This thing is a sick bit of kit, man. This is from James. He's a Perth fella here in WA, and this is one seriously cool piece of kit. I've got a spare deflator. I've got a knife, some hand sanitizer. Obviously, I keep my maps and my passes. I've got passes in here. Things that are just miscellaneous stuff that you sort of want to have on tap, ready to go as well. Got a torch there, Leatherman. So that's sick. That's so cool. It just stops from things flying all around the dash. I've got the RM Williams seat covers. These are on special and they're really cool. I like these a lot. A lot of guys are spending a lot of money on Stratos and whatever other brands. I can't really think of them, but these are cool. And I got the steering wheel cover to go with it as well, because underneath the steering wheel is absolutely shot. What else have I got? I got a little gauge here just so I can see what's going on with my battery. That's just wired up to my battery, so that tells me everything's sweet, or actually tells me when something's wrong, more to the point. And this was one thing that I mentioned that was really cool when I got the car. This is the Outback roof console with the Unit UHF 80 channel. And over here you can't see it, but I've got an external speaker as well, just so I can hear it. But this is cool. I've got some ropes up in here. I've got my winch control. I don't think I've even got anything here. There's so much room in these. And then I'll put LED globes in here, which never work because they're cheap Chinese shit from eBay. So that's my fault. I think that's it for in here. Yeah, let's move on. So, this is a bit more of the business end, I would say. My fridge is a bit of an older unit now, this one. I don't know how old. It's not Wi-Fi or anything. It's a Waco CF50. Perfect size for me and Kelly, especially if we're going away for a little bit extra time. We just portion size our food. Prep it all before we go away, and it's incredible the amount of food we can actually fit in there. Full bottles of milk and yeah, easily a couple of weeks worth, and that's drinks, cans and stuff as well. And then it's the Dunn Watson fridge slide, 60 litre fridge slide. I have no issues with this. I quite like it. I've had this for quite a while, had it for as long as the fridge. No issues at all with it. I really like it. And then, you know, just got some room for random storage. I got my soap and some sunscreen, a hand wash and repellent. I got a little first aid kit over the other side. Yeah, so that's that. That's cool. I've just ran a hockey strap around it just to keep all this sort of in there tight. And yeah, it's good. Works well. So that's that. In my drawers, In this one is recovery and tools. So I've got some jumper leads. I've got an Adventure Kings tool bag. Would I buy it again? No. Has it got me out of some situations? Yes. My biggest gripe with it is that the tools aren't organised. If you want a spanner, you have to pretty much pour out the entire bag of spanners. Same with your sockets, you got to pour out the entire bag of sockets. But it was an $80 bag, and when you're getting like an 80-piece tool bag or tool kit, when you can think of other ones that are like $300-400 and this was 80, so I can't really complain too much. Have a hammer for pegs, neat little socket set. This is the recovery bag that the winch came with, or the bag came with the winch rather. This is sick. I actually really rate this. I don't rate Hercules snatchies. I think they are not very elastic. What's that word? They don't elasticize very well. I think they're quite rough on the car. My choice of snatch straps are the Mean Mother and the Ridge Rider. I find these, they elasticize very well and they're very gentle on the car. That's my personal opinion. I have been snatched and have snatched with the Hercules snatchies. Not a fan at all. Having said that though, everything else that's in the kit, the tree trunk protector, it's got a pulley block for your double line pulls. It's got the bag for your line, obviously the safety bag. It came with a shovel, deflator, has an extension. So there's a fair bit of cool, and shackles, there's a heap of shackles in there as well. So there's heaps of cool shit in that. So I rate that. I just don't like their snatchies, but that's personal opinion. And that was only, geez, it was like $130 or something for all that. And I haven't heard anything bad about any of it. So that's that drawer. Like I said, I got a couple extra snatches in here, and this is just where I keep my shackles and whatnot for recovering. They're all buried in there. Yeah, just that sort of stuff. And a towel, because you never know when you're going to get wet and you need to dry yourself off. This drawer is cutlery and cooking, really. Like my Grab Me Gear bag up the front, the dash organiser, I've also got two of these, a large and a medium, of his clear top bags. These are so cool. They are seriously so cool. Jimmy, if you ever watch this, I want to personally thank you, man, for making such an awesome product right here in Western Australia. And I am so happy to be able to buy something like this, good quality canvas gear, and throw money in your pocket to help you live the life that you want to live. I genuinely mean that. Because these are just so cool. And I know I've flicked you a message before to pretty much say all that, but for anyone that needs some sort of organisation either on your dash or in the back of your car, don't go past these or the crash pad gear as well, because the crash pad is just on par. They are really good stuff as well. So that's my little shout out for Jimmy with these. They're so good. We had a little square plastic container in here, and it was big and bulky, and it was just a pain in the ass. So I ended up getting these, and for the cutlery, it's just so good. It's just giving me so much space here now. So that's that. We've got pans, pots. We don't really use these because we're always cooking on fire. It's mostly when we go away through summer and there's no fire. That's when we have to pull out the cooker and use a pan for that, which doesn't happen often because if I can't get fire, I just don't really like to camp. So yeah, baby wipes. If you don't have a pack of these in your car, you need to sort your life out. These are sick. They're so good. What I usually do is every time we pack up, or if we're on camp for more than a day, more than a night, I like to wipe everything down with this. So everything that goes back in the car, my tables, the chair, the table on my chair, I wipe it all down with this. And especially when you're out in the dirt and you're walking around, it can get dusty. You drop food and grease and shit on oil, whatever, on your tables. There's nothing worse than pulling your stuff out for a fresh camp and all your gear is just shit. It's just dirty. So that's where these are awesome. Other stuff I've got in here, just spare batteries for LED lights, head torches, whatnot. A bit of alfoil for cooking, gravy, veggies without gravy. If you cook veggies and you don't have gravy, seriously, can you even call yourself human? Just, oh. Barbie, salt, pepper, sugar, tea, coffee. Yeah, that's pretty much this drawer. Yeah, that's about it for the drawers. Yeah, if you don't have drawers in your vehicle, can I suggest putting away 400 odd bucks and getting yourself a pair, because they just make things just so much better. I just can't explain that enough. How drawers they just complete a camping setup. Yeah. So get yourself some drawers. This is my water, my U-Butte did at home $20 Kmart job water setup. I've got a 30 litre jug just there, and I've strapped it down. I did sort of go into this a little bit in a previous video, but then it just comes off a hose with a little switch on it, and that just gravity feeds us out water, just like that. So we've got water on tap for dishes. I also bought this. I put another plug in. Go camping in Balcatta. They had a GQ day 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. Got all us GQ owners up there for a few hours, and we just hung around, bought some stuff, talked some shit. That was led by Intense Offroad. Taylor was there with his Mickey, his short wheelbase patrol. So that was cool. And so I needed a sink because we waste a lot of water when we wash them out. So I grabbed this. It's a 10 litre collapsible. Well, not even collapsible. What would you call it? I don't know. It's not collapsible in the true sense of that word, but yeah, fill it with water and you can do your dishes in this. So that's cool. Save a lot of water. And I got that from Go Camping in Balcatta. So also, I've put this here. A lot of guys have a table here. I didn't want one. I don't want a table here. The table just pissed me off because I have the table down. As soon as I want to get something out of the drawers, I've got to move the table and everything on the table. So I've put this here. I've got all these random little miscellaneous tools that you're just like, man, I need a screwdriver. Oh, okay, boom, there's a screwdriver. Oh, I really need some pliers. Oh, sweet, there's some pliers. Man, I could really use a pair of scissors. Spanner. I got pegs. I got all spare random pegs if I ever ran out of pegs. Good for the awnings or whatever else I want to pin down. And this, good for touching a hot plate or pulling the lid off your camp oven. So that's what they're for. So that's cool. Just a cheap $11 tool belt from eBay, and I just... One thing you've probably figured out with this car is I like to do things cheap and myself. I don't like to pay people to do anything of this kind of calibre. If there's something hectic, like mechanical wise, I pay top dollar, and the people know who they are that I pay top dollar to, and I'm very grateful for all your services with this vehicle. But when it comes to little things like this that make camping so much easier, like the water bottle, I don't know, like little things like this. Even this is just a Noki strap that I've tech screwed in, and that's for all my paper towel. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to walk into ARV or Opposite Lock with an open credit card and say, boys, hook me up with all your coolest shit. Like, that's not. I'm not about that. And if you do that, then man, that's awesome. I'm stoked for you. But for me, being an older vehicle, I like to try and do things myself and keep it cheap but also reliable. And for the most part, I know that doesn't really work all the time, especially with something like going, off-road and doing big distances and trips and stuff. But for the most part, I have kept things real cheap and managed to keep it reliable. And I think that's pretty cool. Alright, so wrapping it up, just on the outside now, I've got the crash pad wheelie bin bag. This thing is cool. I really like this. I've had ones before with the zip. The zip gets clogged up from dirt and whatnot. Velcro just stops sticking. The cheap ones, they fade, they just look like shit. But this is sick. This is really cool. It's got no zips, except for a zip inside, which doesn't get affected with dust or anything, so that's always good. And it's just as simple as undoing those clips and you've got a massive big bin bag. So that's that. If you were wondering about getting one of these, I would. A, Australian made. B, they're sick. So the roof rack. Of that, I've got a high lift here. Mostly it just sits here and goes rusty, but the few times I've needed it, it's been worth its weight in gold, so I'm not going to be taking it off anytime soon. And I've got a cover here as well just to protect all the guts, because they tend to get weathered, and then when there's no grease or anything, no lubrication on the guts here, they just pretty much refuse to work. So having one of these is good, just to keep it all nice and greased up in there. And then I've just got a shovel. Any situation that may need recovery and a shovel's involved. So that's for that. And then I've got a full set of Max Tracks. Again, they're worth their weight in gold as well. I don't need to discuss that. Everyone's seen plenty of footage of how good Max Tracks are. If you're wondering if you should get some, you should definitely get some. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. If there's anything else that you want to know, just hit me up in the comments down below and I can answer that for you. I've got my Facebook page, Westralian Offroad. You can flip me a message on that and I'm happy to chat. Or my Instagram as well, Westralian Offroad on Instagram too. I'm always on there, so you can flick a message through and I'm always happy to have a yarn. This thing is maybe a little bit OTT for what me and Kelly do, that you guys see on footage anyway. I was going a lot more harder on the big, more extreme stuff. Now it's not so much about that. Now it's more about just getting to places, and a lot of it mostly is just off-roading. Having said that though, when we have been out on trips and it's just us two, there's been times where things have got pretty real pretty quick, and I feel like if we were in any other vehicle, we may not have made it through. So the capability of this with the big lift and the tyres, it's second to none. It's worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. That's all I got to say about that really. I like the big tyres, I like the big lift, and maybe a little bit over the top for what we're doing at the moment, but it's been good when we've needed it. So yeah, I think I've covered it. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching this, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. I hope you got something out of this one, and talk soon. Hooroo.